Hey Jehovah's Witnesses, it's your favorite apostate and I'm Dude 2, and I have yet another question for you. Now, for this evening, I would like you to forgive me because I do have a bit of a head cold, and as such, I'm not up to my usual par, and the dramatic flair may be somewhat wanting in this evening's discussion. I also have opted to simply write out my argument rather than giving it extemporaneously as I usually do. Now, without further ado, I will present the basis for my argument, followed by the conclusion or the question, which I will be posing to you. So, you submit that the pagan roots of a holiday or a tradition would hinder an honest-hearted Christian from participating in such an activity. Now, mind you, I cannot fault your logic if you, on a personal level, decide not to participate in holidays. I, for one, do not think of such things as the substance of Christianity, but one must worship God according to the dictate of his conscience. But just for argument's sake, you believe that due to the rooting of Christmas with the pagan Roman Saturnalia, true Christians today would avoid engaging in that holiday. You also state that Christians would not participate in holidays such as Easter because of its founding in pagan fertility rites and use of pagan symbolism. Also, you admonish Christians against traditions like rice throwing for much the same reason, as this tradition is rooted in pagan fertility rites. Children are told not to sing songs like Ring Around the Rosie because of its formulation during the bubonic plague and its association with warding off spirits. And these may, in fact, all be valid arguments, as I am not here to dispute the scholastic validity of historical association and its implications with Christian morality in the modern age. However, there is a problem for Christians who choose to take this rigid approach. And like so many things with the Watchtower Corporation, the problem arises in where exactly does one draw the line. Does one, for instance, forbid the consumption of beverage products such as Coca-Cola due to its early usage of the psychotropic drug cocaine? What about the use of cameras due to the pagan superstition that these devices steal the soul? For that matter, what about the Christian's view on medical treatment? This goes far beyond the views on blood, but rather encompasses a much larger moral plane. You see, many medical practices began as pagan rites and rituals. Modern drugs were once used to induce psychotic states that primitive men believed brought them enlightenment. Much of our current understanding of the universe would not be possible without the achievements of early alchemists and sorcerers who sought understanding of basic chemical compounds. Should earnest Christians avoid scientific progress? And then we reach the conclusion, the crux, if you will, of my argument, and the biggest problem of all with taking rigid views regarding pagan roots. And that problem lies with the very organization which espouses such proclamations. Many Jehovah's Witnesses are aware of the use of pagan symbols like the cross on early Watchtower publications. Also, many are familiar with the practice of pagan holidays amongst early witnesses. But it goes much deeper than that. Russell's conclusion on the date 1914 was not originally arrived using the method most witnesses are familiar with today, but rather this conclusion was mired with astrology, pyramidology, and numerology, all well-recognized pagan practices. In addition to this, many terms we use today, such as Hall, have their roots in Masonic tradition. Russell himself was a Freemason and incorporated Masonic imagery in early publications. Given these inarguable facts regarding the founder of modern-day Jehovah's Witnesses, I pose to you the simple question for which I am earnestly seeking an answer. Why is it that holidays like Christmas and Easter, or traditions like throwing rice at weddings, should be avoided by all honest Christians by virtue of their pagan origins, while the pagan roots and origins of the Watchtower Corporation, along with its usage of pagan symbols and formula, are to be ignored and overlooked? I look forward to your response on this, and remember, life is a state of mind. See you next time.